Hi, it's Arlie. I wanted to show you my September dori, almost finished, and my October dori set up, but I haven't moved into it yet, of course. So this is my beautiful sparkly cork planner cover. I never use the pockets. I don't know why. This is September. If you want to see the setup for this, it's in a previous video. I cut the pages off as I go, the corners, so this is today. Oh, and by the way, 2016 calendars matches with 2022, so that means 2017 calendars and planners will match up with 2023. So look through your stuff and see what you have. So it's okay with me if I have some blank pages, it's fine. In the standard dori, I can't remember if it's still this way, but there were enough lines to write 1 through 31 or 30 so that you could track something through the month, which I would like to. I wish I had used this as a forward planner where you write out just things you know that are going to happen next month, and then when you set up the next month, you write these things into the next month. If that makes any sense, you write it into your. If you have a month at a glance like this, then you would transfer what you know, what you've been planning on the month before, and you can put it in here. So that's a thing I used to do, and I miss doing it. So I've picked it up again, and I'm going to start doing it in October. So so let me flip through. Drawing is nice to do on the pages. Tip-ins or hidden journaling is fun to do. Decorative scissors. So I have these, I got a whole set of decorative scissors, and what I did was I took a marker and I wrote a little, like a shorthand version of the pattern on top. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I guess they're all faded. It's time to redo it. But then that way, when they're all in the cup, all I have to do is look at the top to see what the pattern is. But usually I just keep a couple that are my favorites nearby. These little labels are from, is it Simple Stories? They have a free printable every month. So sometimes I don't have enough to say when my journal is sitting in front of me like this. But I seem to have plenty to say in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee and I'm on Twitter, or, you know, when I'm on Facebook and something comes up and I want to talk about something. So, oh, and then also I type a lot faster than I write. So I'm able to write out a whole thing pretty quickly if I type, because I'm like a 120 words per minute typist. So this was a story that I said on a thread that I said on Twitter about how I moved in when my mom and my stepdad got together. I moved into the little girl's room. She was 1 year younger than I, and she had been talked into a very hot pink Marimekko style, and it didn't suit her at all. She was a total hippie kid. But I moved into that room, and I also was a total hippie kid, but I ended up being really influenced by that. You should look up Marimekko. Their designs are gorgeous, but just like gigantic pink poppies, basically. You know you've seen it because it's been around forever. So that's what I wrote about, and I just kept writing. And so then I have something to say about writing too. I've been watching videos I watch a lot of YouTube videos in the morning. I don't have TV in my bedroom, so I sit and drink coffee and watch YouTube videos. And one of the things that the people who have nice handwriting say, well, not one of the things, but the basic like guidelines, I wrote them down. So you know how you're writing and you write the way you always write, and you're really thinking about what you're writing. So what they're saying, and I watched a couple of videos and they seemed to all say the same thing. To slow down, if you want better handwriting or neater handwriting, you slow down and you look and you try to connect with the exact moment or the feeling of the pen or pencil on the paper. and don't get ahead of that. Slow your writing down, be a little bit more deliberate. That was the main advice, which I think is great advice for life, but it's specifically for handwriting. And I'm not saying I have great handwriting. I think a lot of us planners and journalers, not all of us, of course, some people have achieved this, but some people get to a point where they're just scrawling, or they say, I wish I had really good handwriting. So, but you can. So you slow down and pay attention. Just slow it all down. And if you really want to focus, if you feel like you're going to lose focus on the content, then you should write a rough draft and have your rough draft over here that you've written in pencil or your normal handwriting. And then you transcribe it in to your, wherever is your thing that your place that you're writing in your neater handwriting, and slow down and kind of try to enjoy the lettering and the ink and the sound. The other one is if you're, same thing, if you're feeling rushed and not organized and you don't like the way your pages look in your planner or whatever, do a little sketch or look at someone else's that you like. Do a tiny little sketch of it and then see if you can do the same thing into your own book. And then this is post-mortem is something that we used to do at newspapers. I used to work for weekly newspapers. And the most successful thing that they did, that I think, is that the design team and a couple of the editors, after a paper had gone to print and was distributed, they would quickly go through it and talk about what worked and what didn't and what the plan was for next time. It was rarely very long. It was like a half-an-hour meeting, and then we'd all have beer and stuff. You know, it can be pleasant, even though the name of it isn't. The other one is to think about how if you are happy or unhappy with something that you've done, and I don't mean this just for your journal or your planner, but anything, you need to give yourself a little bit of room for feedback or review and write it down or somehow track that. One of the things that I've been doing with painting is to give it a rating, thumbs up, thumbs down. And the thing that's important for me with my art is, was it fun? So I give it a 5-star review if it was really fun. There was one drawing I did with just magic markers. It was really fun, and I gave it a 5-star review. And that was just me, for me. But I've mentioned this a couple of times, so obviously that made a really big impact on me. So I just wanted to, I've picked up this information, and I think if you're the kind of person who's watching my video of my planner setup, it might be the kind of information that would help you too. So here's this book, and I'm almost done with it. Then I'll be able to take it out, and I'll be able to get rid of this extra rubber band that I have here that's holding in this third book, because I've decided to keep a regular notebook with just thoughts. So that's that. It actually was because I was going to visit my mother, and I wanted to write down stuff about her, my thoughts about her. I had a lot to say. So this is just going to be a notebook and maybe sketches. And I actually, I drew with pens, different pens I was trying out. So this is a non-dated sort of a catch-all. And then this, so I don't know if you know, but Cocoa Daisy has changed the way the pages are arranged, the organization of the pages. And I was really excited to try something. And so you need to look at my other videos so that I don't have to go through the whole thing here. But I was really excited to try taking the book apart, put it all back together to make, instead of all the weekly striped pages sit in the front, the way they are, these pages. Wait, where are they? These pages, these striped pages. They have them all at the front. And I thought, oh, I bet there's a way to take the staples out and redo it so it goes striped page, 7 blanks, striped page, 7 blanks. So I got to one that kind of works, and I stapled it together. So if you take a book apart and then you put it back together, let's see if I can use this as an example. The way that books are made when they do the stapling, I'm going to pretend staple this. So they put the book all together, they staple it, they put the cover on, but do you see how this is at an angle? They trim the book. They put the cover on, they put the staples on, and then they go slice right here. And that means the pages on the inside toward the staple are slightly narrower. And that's important for you to know, because when you rearrange it, let's see how I can show you. It's not going to have that neat ring. It's not going to have that neat look. So I don't care, but that might be something that's important to you. So if you do rearrange your pages, you might want to, if it is important to you, take a ruler, which I don't have one sitting here, but you take a ruler and an X-Acto knife and you cut a new edge. So I just wanted to say that because I don't know if you've never tried taking a book apart, but that's one of the sort of side effects. The other thing that I wanted to say is you might see people restapling, or like me, this is embroidery floss. But you don't need to if you have a rubber band system. You can just use rubber bands to hold the pages. And that's actually kind of fun because you can pull the pages out, decorate them, put them back in like this. You just could pull it out. So you don't always have to refasten a cover. You could just take the staples out, rearrange it, and just leave it in loose like that because this will hold it all together. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say. And I also wanted to show you this. This is something I do with my sketchbooks when I carry them, and I want to have, like in my purse, and I want to have a ballpoint pen with me. Make sure that it has a good clip, and I have it here because this doesn't work for me. So then I can hold it in with this, or this could hold a second thing like a pencil. But this always feels sort of loose to me, these ones that hang off. And so instead, I just use these clips. And you can clip it on like this as well. Okay, so let me do a clip through of the October. So I didn't have my center spread that I was using in here. So I thought I'd write here, but it's so tiny. So what I did was I printed an older 2016, because I still have the files, and this is the personal page. The only thing I changed is the date. I went into the file and changed the date. So I like a bigger version of this. So this is personal October from 2016, and I did redo the date. So I'm going to erase this because I'd like to just use this as reference. And then I did it, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it next month, but October starts on a Saturday, so the weekly pages start on Monday. So I just put some of the pages ahead of the striped page, and that's fine. And now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use these for. Maybe tracking or gratitude or weather. I don't know. But I did it so that there are 7 pages after each striped page. And then I added these tabs, and I wrote the date on the top, the week of. These numbers at the top are the page number in the still stapled book, the way that it came, and then the new number underneath is my new number now that I've rearranged the pages. Just trying things out. That's what's cool about the Cocoa Daisy products. They always sort of, let me finish my sentence. They always sort of match. So even though like the pages, this isn't the page that was meant to go across from this, but still it looks great. So that's what's nice about Cocoa Daisy stuff. It has, things are sort of whimsical and different, but at the same time it has continuity. The colors all match. So it's just a really great product for people like me who Sometimes I'm way too busy and I don't want to do any extra designing, and I just keep the page the way it is. Or sometimes I have a lot of time or lots of ideas and I want to fill it up. So, you know, it covers both of those scenes. So I wanted to say the forward planning. So for me, my brain gets too full and it helps me to write things down. Once I have it written down, I feel an ease of anxiety. So I'm going to start doing forward planning for a couple of months because I have some medical things coming up, some travel, some goals and deadlines and stuff. So I would write my November planning in October. And then when I get November started, then I will write what's here onto this page. And I actually already have it. I did the same thing. I actually took pages out of that annual book that we had, and I added basic gray on the back. And I'm going to do forward planning. I'm going to do this forward planning into here as the time draws closer. So that's it. That's all I have to say. These are postcard stamps for traveling. And I can't think of anything else. So I hope that's helpful to you. I only want to be helpful. I only want to give ideas. I know how frustrating it is sometimes when you see like the professional planners, the real people who are really good and their photos look amazing and they make everything look great. And I know it's disheartening. And so I wanted to show you like what a normal person's planner looks like. Kind of messy. It works for me. This is my system. This is what I do. And so I encourage you, don't save stuff. Use it. If you don't like it, turn the page. It's just not a big deal. Don't sweat it. If you figure out something that works, make note of it, that's something you want to do again next month. And also remember my handwriting tips. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.